I think we're on the same wavelength, which I also think made it feel really safe for me to reach out to you and say, hey, I need some help.
Hi everyone, I am Joyce in Texas and this is my friend Lela.
Hi.
She has invited me into her home. We are going to attack her kitchen, maybe her dining room. I'm going to spend 2 days with her, so come along with us in this journey. The first thing that we're going to do is look for obvious trash and obvious relocate or donate. And what we're looking for is what is not working for her and putting systems into place that will work for her. So let's do it. Here are the photos of her kitchen before. Now, before I came, she did tell me she had a lot of trash, which is why we are going to start with trash. But one of her highest priorities was to clear off the kitchen countertops. And so that is our primary goal. And her overall goal is to be able to start entertaining more and just have a peaceful home, because she has not been in a place of peace recently. And she's going to share a little bit more of her story. So thank you for your kindness in advance and your encouragement of her. It's greatly appreciated. Hey guys, I'm going to jump in here real quick. I want to let you know that I am part of the Helping Hands Alliance. It was put together by the channel, A Guy in His Junk. So right now, he is leading us, and Cammie Hill from American Wifey, and then myself, Joyce in Texas. We are taking this on, and what we're doing is volunteering to help someone in their home for free to clean and declutter. And we will post our little logo whenever a video is part of that volunteer effort. And the requirement is we have to do it at least once a month, as well as do it for free. And I'm already doing that, so I'm excited to join them. Watch their channels as well. If you haven't subscribed, go do that now. Thanks. Okay, Lela's got her trash bag. We also have this bag that we're gonna put stuff for relocating to the ranch in Mexico. And that's what we're gonna do. We're focusing on the surface, but if there's anything in the cabinet she knows she wants to relocate, we'll grab those as well. Let's get started. And while you're doing this, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions.
Okay.
So the first is, why do you want to do this?
My family and I have just been through a lot in the last few years, and things have sort of gotten out of control, and we're coming out of it, and I just am ready to have a clean, organized, peaceful space for all of us to be in.
It's not as fun doing it by yourself as it is with someone else, right?
So hard. So hard. So that's why I called Joyce. I was like, I need a motivator and some guidance, and I'm hoping that this is just a jump start.
Absolutely. Now, she has done some work too before I even got here with the dining room table, but now what she's doing is just looking for obvious trash. She shared things like chips that might be open that weren't sealed correctly, that are stale and need to go.
I don't know how long these have been living here, so we're just gonna start fresh.
And just to share a little bit of our background, my husband knows Lela and her husband for, has it been like 40 years-ish?
35, 40 years?
Yeah, a long time. And Lela and I've known y'all for 20 years now. And Lela and I always have fabulous conversations. She's such a good conversationalist, and I've always enjoyed her company. They have 2 beautiful kids who we adore. And I also need to apologize for my raspy voice. I'm dealing with my asthma, and hopefully, you know, some people think raspy is sexy. I don't know about it, but hey, if it gets me more views and more subscribers, maybe I should try to keep it. All right, we're going to keep going through this and we will come back, but she's already got quite a bit, and you might see her puppies. What are the dogs' names?
Luna is our mini Aussie, and Waylon is our dachshund, and Hunter actually named the dachshund.
Of course he did. Do you want me to set a timer for 25 minutes and we take a 5-minute break?
I'm fine.
Are you a goat?
Once I get started, I'd rather just move through, but I'm happy to take a break anytime. So,
Okay.
like,
I just want to make sure that we're adapting to what you need.
yeah, no.
Okay.
I'm good. Once I get started, I'm good.
Okay. So I got rid of all my magnet stuff because when it's visual, we register it as clutter. And part of your goal too is not to have a cluttered mind and have a peaceful space, right?
Yes.
Okay. We can look at this to see if you want to donate any of those, like the sayings, or what's sentimental to you.
Okay.
And maybe just keep it on the side instead of the face, and it'll feel much cleaner.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. So this was a quick of donations and trash. So we have a few items on the side for schedule, and then we have some things that are precious to her. These are all donation right here, and every little bit counts. She keeps adding to the trash that the puppy is interested in. Okay, let's move to the dining room
Okay.
and living room for any obvious trash there.
Okay.
This dining room table is gorgeous. And I love the chairs. Okay, we're just continuing to look for trash. So Lela and I, before we started, just sat and did a little bit of catching up. And I've shared with her in the past that I've dealt with depression. A lot of things can be situational when we lose family members on and off throughout our lives. And she did mention that some of the stuff that she's looking through now, some things came from after the loss of a family member. And just as I've said in the past, there is no judgment on my channel. We all go through different stages of lives, and she mentioned she's had a couple of rough years and she's ready to attack it all. And I'm excited to be here, and I'm honored that she invited me. So we're just looking for quick wins so we can get a little endorphin push and feel better. Are you feeling some endorphins kick in a little bit?
I am. It
Yeah.
feels good. I feel like, oh, what can I throw away?
And I mentioned that I don't typically do this of the trash and the relocate, but I think because there is so much, and she had already communicated to me that this is what she knew she had, it was a good jumping off for some quick wins. And she's got kiddos that anybody that has kiddos knows is this doesn't take one person to make all this happen. It takes a family, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of time.
Yes.
It builds up over time, I feel like.
You've fought with some energy challenges too, right?
Yes. So I have PTSD from an event that happened in our neighborhood that I was a witness to that happened almost 3 years ago. And so I've been struggling like with energy and emotional overwhelm and just kind of trying to understand what that's like. So I feel like I'm getting a grip on it. It kind of resurfaced after some events in the last month, but I've done a lot of work, and so I feel like I want to push through and make some progress around the house for all of us, for my for my kids, for me, for my husband. Like, I think we'll just all feel better.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. I think there's going to be a lot of people that watch that maybe have not had PTSD. And we talked a little bit about if you haven't walked the walk or you haven't been through it.
yeah, I think that's true for
Anything, right?
grief, depression, all sorts of things. It's not limited to PTSD. But I certainly didn't understand what PTSD was until I was in the thick of it.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot.
I just know a lot of people give a lot of grace, even though they may have not walked that path. But I thank you for being vulnerable and for sharing that. And hopefully by sharing, you're going to help inspire somebody else that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
There is. And I hope so. I think that one of the things that I've kind of decided is to share even when it's kind of uncomfortable, because I would love to help someone else. Just one person. 10 would be great. 100 would be better. But if I can help one person not feel alone or crazy, or just kind of know, okay, that there's a reason I'm feeling this way, or this is normal outside of what our society describes normal as. If I can help someone understand what they're feeling, or just not feel weird about it, or feel okay to go find some help or talk about it or something, then I think that makes me feel better. And kind of feels like I didn't go through all of this for nothing,
Yeah.
Something good came out of something bad.
That's how my whole channel started. Like, you were saying things I said.
Yeah.
It's like if somebody else lost a loved one and I can help just one person, then this was successful.
Yes.
So I'm glad that I didn't even prompt you. You just said it.
I think we're on the same wavelength, which I also think made it feel really safe for me to reach out to you and say, hey, I need some help. Can you
That's huge.
come help me? And feel, I knew that you wouldn't push me where I wasn't comfortable being pushed, but that you would encourage me and support me and guide me where I needed guidance. So it made it really easy to reach out to you when I was ready. I wasn't ready for a long time.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know what to do. And then one day I was watching one of your videos and I was like, why have I not called Joy? She would come help me. And so here we are.
Here we are. Thank you for sharing. Looking in some of your drawers, I did see there's some organization, like this one here, right? It's got the little dividers. Let me bring that down a little bit. So you've got dividers and stuff. So we want to know what's not working for you.
So really, the top drawers all the way around work pretty well. What doesn't work, or could probably use some tweaking, is these lower drawers.
Okay.
And the biggest problem that I have is probably the corner cabinet right here. And then all the stuff on the countertop. There are things that we just use daily. Diets have changed. My kids have gotten older, so they kind of have the same things they use every day, as well as my husband has more of a routine than he used to. I would love to organize those things that we use every day.
Yeah.
And put away the things that we don't. In a more organized but convenient place. So the countertops are the biggest.
Okay. So, and I think, can any of the stuff in the countertops, would you want to go into a cabinet? So this tends to be like your snack area. So would you want it in a cabinet that's still easily accessible, or do you need it to be visual? Or is your family more visual and easy access?
We're probably more visual. So this stuff over here probably needs to stay out.
Okay. May do better with a basket.
Yes.
To contain it. Because when you see all the little things together, I think the riser is good. It makes you see it as one, but I think a basket might make it visually feel better. That this is your snack, and it also acts as a container. So when you have too much or it's overflowing, you know you have too much.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I love that idea. So here's a question for you. Like those coffee mugs there we don't really use them. They're kind of hidden behind medicine.
Mm-hmm.
They're very sentimental. I'm maybe getting to a place that I could put them in the cabinet, but I hadn't been there for a while.
Okay.
I like seeing them because they were my grandmother's and we were very, very close.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where the riser started, but it's slowly been taken over by medicines and supplements that we use every day, and they just don't get put away.
So would you ever want to hang them? Like, so you could still see them? Or would you want to put them in a cabinet?
Can I think about that?
Absolutely.
Let me think about that a minute.
Yeah. You don't have to make final decisions today, but I'm going to throw out ideas to you. If they can do it now, do it later.
Yeah, no, I kind of love the idea of hanging them. I worry about, I think maybe them being hit or knocked down.
Mm-hmm. What I say is normally once I get started, sometimes the answers will reveal themselves.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
To get them out of the way,
mm-hmm.
I had kept them up there. Do you feel okay if I put them back up there?
So right now you had them up here.
Yes.
I would say let's not make a decision yet because I
Okay.
would like them to be hidden away for you.
Okay.
Ideally where they're easily accessible.
Yes.
And not visually cluttering you.
Perfect. So I'm going to set them over here by the coffee maker for now.
Okay, so let's work left to right.
Okay.
So these are napkins and towels.
Yes, and that's part of this drawer situation down below here.
Okay.
Is this one goes to the ranch.
So where do you put your napkins normally?
So kind of in here, but this, as you can see, doesn't work super well. And it probably needs to be thinned out.
Okay, why don't you do that right now? And then we will. You know, I will tell you, and again, I'm not hating on my husband, by the way. I love him dearly. But he does not fold the same way. He does not put in the same way. And you have to pick your battles. And that's not a battle I'm willing to pick. And I know just because I put it away a certain way doesn't mean it's going to stay that way once he attacks it. So I'm not also looking for perfection, and I don't think you're looking for perfection, right?
No. Used to have a little bit of control issues, and so I was the only one who could do things and put them away. But then things stopped getting put away because I wasn't in a great space to do that. I've gotten to a point where I am very happy for anyone to put anything away any way they want to.
All these ice packs.
So these
is there room in the fridge? Are they out here?
So there's not room in the freezer, and that is maybe something for us to tackle.
Okay.
Because I would like them in the freezer because we would use them if they were frozen.
Anything in the freezer that you think is trash?
Yes.
Let's do that right now.
Okay.
We're gonna go back to trash, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is where we are with the freezer now. We're going to see if the ice maker will work. We have fruits here and ice cream and stuff. I was trying to get your veggies down below. Yeah. And keep your fruits and stuff up here. We'll see if we can get it. Maybe get the stuff like this. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, quick little do. And she's decluttering some more of the ice packs. And I know that was a little derailment, but to get it off your counter, that's what we had to do.
Yes.
Okay.
No,
Cute.
This is what I would use, like, long term.
It's so pretty.
But Why don't we use that? Let me go get the cleaner out of my car real quick.
Okay, perfect. I love this. It needs to be dusted. Because you want prime real estate to be
Yes.
things you use all the time.
Yes.
Okay. I got a pull-down hanger
Uh-huh.
for
that's
under
a
the
great
cabinet
idea.
from Amazon, and it works great.
Okay.
So I can send you links to that.
Okay.
We're going to tackle this, but because there's some prescriptions, we'll show you the after. But we're going to deal with the medication right now. All right, here's our progress so far. Dealing with medications, we've cleared off the little 3-tier a little bit more. And then she's got this turntable up here that she's now putting other medications up there for easy access. And I'm looking to put things like this under the sink. So that's kind of where we are. How are you feeling?
So much better.
Yeah, so we did a few little things like on the shelving. We put things in little trays so they can pull out and they'll have to dig out from behind. And then her mugs that are important to her, that top shelf is kind of narrower and hard to deal with. So we put them up there so they can still be on visual, but out of the way, and they don't have to be touched, and they're still in a place of honor. So let me ask you, are you wanting to be able to use the bar?
Yes. So ultimately what I would like is to have all the clutter cleared away. I mean, this is going to be an ongoing process, but, and just the pieces, like my mom made this little thing and I love it. The airplanes have sentimental value. My husband and my daughter love plants. So I need to find homes for these and whatnot, but I want clear spaces and I want to feel good inviting people into my home and not having clutter and papers and stuff everywhere.
So can we, because you want a clear countertop, can we move these treasures into the dining room table
Absolutely.
until we figure out where they're going to go long term?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm all for that.
Okay.
I was kind of working through this tray just to see what could be thrown away. Is that a good task for me?
That is perfect. And then does that tray need to stay out because it takes up a lot of room?
But I'm also like, don't necessarily need it out
Okay.
so much as I don't want to let go of it.
So it could go into a cabinet.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Her husband is a pilot, so he does have an affinity for planes. So I'm going to take these to the dining room. Okay guys, Leela's going to get us some lunch, but right now I'm working on these drawers that she has. And there's a lot of like kid lunch stuff in there, and I've just pulled out the straws and the silverware and stuff, and I'm gonna probably move her napkins and towels up one drawer and then move this stuff down one drawer, so the bottom 2 drawers are gonna be for their lunches. So let's do that. We'll come back to those.
Like, we really don't use paper plates that much.
Okay.
It's really just when I have a house full of teenage boys, which is an occasional weekend.
So they don't need to be readily accessible.
They don't really need to be readily accessible.
So do you have any other lunch stuff that can go in here?
That's what I was gonna...
Okay, let me put this on donate, and then we'll figure out where to put these. It could be in one of your cabinets that you have in the living room.
Yeah. So I have a thought, and I don't know if this is where you're going or not, Could we put the lunch boxes in here?
Yes, I love that idea. Okay, and this is your coffee station right here.
Yes.
Okay. So my thought is he has to open it to get a coffee cup out.
Yes.
So you could still put this
I'm fine with that.
up there and get it off your counters.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Yeah, let's get a step stool and I'll clean up there.
So can I jump in and pull
Yeah.
some things out that I know don't need to be here?
Absolutely. And I'm going to wipe this down while you're doing that.
Okay.
Can your utensils go over here now that there's space?
Yes.
Next to the coffee
Yes.
stuff? Because otherwise that's kind of dead space.
Yes.
So just moved it right there.
This is another one of those platters that means a whole lot. It needs to be cleaned.
Okay, I'll wash it.
So
it's more sentimental.
Yes. Now, I will say, I think that there is a great hope in this household that as we get the house cleaned up, we will start entertaining more, and those things will start getting used more.
We'll find a good home for it. And maybe above the microwave.
You read my mind. So, I think it could very much go above the microwave.
Okay, let me wipe down up there. Do you use this still?
Yes.
Okay, and your splatter guard?
Um,
Is there a better home for your splatter guard or no?
I don't really know because it's kind of also a funny like shape and everything.
Okay.
So
we don't have to
I wonder if
decide.
it could fit under here.
Yes, bottom of the, okay. So let me put it on up here.
And the dinner plates were like the big animals, and the salad plates were like the baby animals. And then she had the tiles like throughout her kitchen. Her friend had painted tiles
Oh, wow.
with the flowers and the animals.
I'm thinking this side.
That works.
And then we can put this up in the bowl.
That's perfect.
Yay! All right, let me wipe this down. So I guess the question is, does this deserve a place of honor on your counter? At least for right now? Or what?
So I think that's one of my thoughts is that now that the kitchen is clean and we'll have a little bit of headspace to maybe do some of it. I think I'd like to leave that out for now.
Okay. So corners can be kind of dead spaces. Can we move the ninja to the corner?
You read my mind again. It's amazing how you do that.
Great minds think alike. And it's still close to a plug.
Yeah. Throw that one away. So I use the spray a lot more than like the...
So the sprays have chemicals.
Okay.
So like Amazon has spray bottles that are glass that you can put olive oil in or oils in and then use those, and that's better.
Okay, then
Now-
I will switch to that.
I still will use a spray for like a baking dish every once in a while, but other than that, I've tried to go more natural.
No, I definitely am wanting... Okay, so here's my next question. I don't really need that. If I take away... So,
Okay.
let me back up a minute. There are certain things that we do use a lot, like this. But I could get like one of my glass things or something to put it in. I'm just thinking because I do like this.
It should be used for daily. Stuff you're grabbing for daily so you don't have to open a cabinet. So salt, pepper, your tahini you use daily, your oils.
I mean, these aren't daily, but they're multiple times a week.
That's
Like this and this and this multiple times a week. These daily.
You can adapt and adjust. Whatever you decide today, you don't have to keep it like that.
I think that my concern is that you have such limited space in the cabinets.
I think you have limited space because you have a lot of stuff.
Okay. So let's clear out the stuff.
Yeah.
And then let's reevaluate. How's
Okay.
that sound?
Because I also see you need prep space. And if you didn't have that, that would give you so much prep space right
Yes.
there. Because this is too small and it's got your coffee. You have your snacks. You're going to have dishes and stuff over here. I think you need this open for prep space.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Okay. So let's take time then to tackle this cabinet because it solves for your countertop. So,
Yes.
okay, let's do that. So you've got two of them. What I actually have up higher is I put refills, condiment refills.
Yes.
And so then that's your
We
extras
need
that you
that.
can bring down. So let's just leave one of them in here and then we'll put, we'll do up higher like a refill
Okay.
bin.
The other thing that we need to do as we go through this is check expiration dates.
Okay. So this looks like stuff y'all use all the time.
Yes.
Okay, so this all looks good.
So this one, so we bounce between this one and that one, which is not super productive. I mean, it works okay, but there are probably things in here that I would take
and put over here.
and put over here. What I'm more like concerned about is like that, this bin. Does flour go bad?
Yes, it can.
So that container, that up there, like everything on that top shelf.
This is a year past 2025.
So this is 27 and still good. But that other one's gonna be the same. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna pull this down just to wipe.
Yeah.
I would think you would want to get to your sugar and your baking stuff.
There was a point in time when Alberto was doing a lot of baking.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really anymore, but I don't know that that's not to say if things are getting better that he
He might start again.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
It's expired. You can still use it. I just don't know what you want to put
I
in.
don't know that I need it.
Okay. Well,
Can we put these in that
this,
one?
and that can go up here.
Yes.
And we might, I have brought my label maker so we could also label the outside.
Okay.
So you don't have to say what's in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this is your baking.
Yes.
It's all good, keepers?
Yes.
So this was all the way on the top shelf.
I think it's good at the top.
It is?
Yeah.
This is very limited. You could put this up here too for you to twist and you can get to stuff in the back.
Yeah.
Would that work?
Yes.
Maybe you can add a little bit more. I really would like to put that in.
Oh, I will get something to put that in.
So this is extra. So we'll put up there.
So I have a question for you on that. Since we have space on this one, I'm afraid if I put it up there, I'll forget it's there.
We'll put a label.
Okay.
My concern is you're gonna probably, you threw a
Start
lot of stuff
filling it up.
away. You're probably gonna say, oh, I need this, and
Yeah.
you need space to put,
Yes,
okay.
you're right.
So, but yeah, we'll label it. And that can go.
Needs to go.
Where would you naturally look for that? In the pantry or here? The maple syrup.
Probably in the pantry.
Okay.
Number one, my guess is that a whole lot of this
It's going to be expired.
I think Maya went through it very recently, and might have sent out the expired stuff.
Okay.
But I mean, like, how long does this last?
Yeah, it's still good.
Okay.
Because it's in glass. Now, if it was in cans, acidic stuff in cans, I would not keep longer.
Okay.
So, like your mayonnaise and stuff, if this stuff is extra, I would put it up there. So your extra condiments get put up there.
Okay.
And when the stuff that's going to be refrigerated, right?
Right.
And then it doesn't take up this real estate.
Okay.
That's how I've kind of done it.
So this probably does need to be gone through, because I think there's
Okay.
possibly.
Do we want to do this, or do you want to? The other thing is I'm trying to get to, you have the bakeware, right?
Yes.
So let's,
So I think that tackling these two drawers,
okay.
where my bakeware and my like food storage containers belong or have belonged, is more important, because
Than
I
this.
can go through this and
Perfect.
clean this out and thin it out.
Yep.
So if we could tackle this,
Let's do it.
that would be amazing.
Okay, so you have some funnels. I'm just gonna pull some stuff out.
So that can probably go in the trash. So those all fit. Alberto bought this set for himself.
Oh, to the stainless steel? That makes more sense. Oh, this goes to this. Okay.
Yeah, because these have the same, look, these have the same rubber on the bottom.
Yep. So do you want to put them in here, or you just want to match them together? Do you want this to be more bakeware and that over there's more?
I think those go to it as well.
This, oh yeah, because it goes on that big lid. Okay, because see that center?
Yes.
That's what that was. How cool is that? We don't have to decide right now, but just leave them over there for now. If we need to move them later, we can.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna wipe this out. Those are mixing bowls, and then you have glass mixing bowls.
Yes.
Do you need this many? Is a question.
Probably not.
Is this the real estate you want to use that for? Or you want bakeware, like your?
So this is where I need help. I use the bakeware a lot more.
Okay. I say we're close. Let's back us up. Okay. So you use the bakeware a lot more.
Yes.
I would suggest putting it in here then.
Yes. I think in the past what has been going on is we were trying to put both in there,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know that we need to do that.
What other bakeware do you have besides these two?
So I think that's really it.
What about your?
We have
pans?
these.
Again, they don't have to stay here if we decide later
Yeah.
to move some stuff around.
So the other thing that we have that just lives out on our stove, and maybe it needs to do that, but maybe we could reduce how much does live out on our stove, are the cast iron skillets.
You want to see if they fit in here?
Yes.
I know they're very heavy.
We don't use them necessarily every day. I think they mostly live here because
It's convenient.
they're heavy and
Yeah.
inconvenient,
Yeah.
and so we just leave them out. I would love to see them go away.
Let's see if they'll fit and if the
They're
drawer-
really heavy.
Yeah, if the drawer can handle them. And now you have 4 burners that you can cook on, and they were taking up 2 burners.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I would shuffle them and stack them and all the things.
Now,
so.
is this storage or is this bake?
So I think that it's really both.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and put those in here for right now, and then we'll find the lids.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, let's pull everything out of this.
Okay.
And let's put it up here. We're gonna try to match lids to plastic bottoms, and those will go to the ranch, and we'll come back. I'm gonna move these two from the bottom drawer up to her bakeware.
So I'm going to need some, I'm trying to decide if I need new or more storage pieces. What I would really like to try and do is, I mean, you know, this is a work in progress. I'm afraid if I get too many pieces that they will live in the refrigerator for too long. And but I'm trying to figure out where that balance is. Does that make sense? Like, where is the balance between having enough pieces and...
So we don't typically keep leftovers over a week.
Right.
And during our lunch break, we talked about putting a reminder on our phone that the day before garbage day, that would be the day that you go through your refrigerator to clean any leftovers out, wash those dishes, and you get to use them again. So in theory, you wouldn't have more than would last you for a week.
Right.
Now, they're all different kinds, and like I said, there's some from Sam's that we love because they all have the same lids, they're all by the same maker and stuff. You could eventually go that route, and then you don't irritate your husband, which is what I did with having different ones and different lids. So I had to change over to just one type. You could do that.
Okay. But I think at least I have some now.
Yeah.
To tide me over.
Yes.
And then sort of figure out, and maybe even, so I have a confession to make. Alberto does most of the cooking.
Lucky.
I'm trying to do more and split those jobs up more, but like at least I have a little bit to tide me over, and I can also talk to him and see what he has a preference for.
So my other thing over here is, let me show y'all, is now we have storage and storage. Back here's 2 baking dishes, and then there's these mixing bowls. So I almost feel like the mixing bowls need to be with other mixing bowls, and this stay with your baking and your storage containers.
Okay.
That to me is what makes sense, because you want like things with like, and you have mixing bowls over there, and you have mixing bowls here. So either the storage maybe moves over there and those mixing bowls come over here, or vice versa.
That's a possibility. I don't know exactly everything I have over here. So I have this, but...
Is this trash?
Yes. This cabinet up to sort of try and decide where to put the mixing bowls and whatnot. And I'm finding things that I didn't really know were here.
Okay.
So I have a lot of plastic utensils, and like I don't think I need these.
Okay.
And I have a lot of plastic utensils. Oh goodness.
Is this recyclable?
I think so.
Let's do a throw them in the recycle. Let's see. Yeah, you're number 1.
Okay.
So you already have
A lot of these.
So I would, yeah.
And then I have this,
Cute.
which I would like to keep the basket. I just don't know, like.
Do you want to keep this silverware in it? Would you use it for entertaining?
Because I would, but I have no idea what I'm going to entertain.
Okay, we have the paper plates. We don't know where they're going to go yet. How about we keep those with the paper plates?
Okay. Do you want the napkins as well?
Sure. So you want to make that top shelf your mixing?
So that's what I'm thinking, is if we bring the glass mixing bowls over here. That's all mixing. I have typically kept my salad bowls over here because it was just a good
I think that sounds good.
place. So these aren't very functional.
Colanders?
Yes.
Do you want to donate them?
Yes. So I'd like to donate those two. This one I use
Yeah, I like that one
a
too.
lot and all the time. Okay. So he came back from Central Market with these.
Okay.
Where am I going to set them?
Why would you not put it under your dome in the corner?
Okay.
Because they're pretty, right?
Yes.
And this corner cabinet is dead space in the back because you have this that rolls out. So I pulled everything you see here, like this and this, out of there. And it was hard to get it out of there. And these great storage stuff that we can probably use. I also pulled out plastic cutting boards. We talked about clean living, and you have a lot of wooden boards. Are you married to these, or would you want to let them go?
I probably would like to keep one
Okay.
because they're just a little easier to like chop vegetables on or cut in something.
Okay. Do you want to pick out which one you want to keep?
Why don't we keep this one?
The small one?
Yeah.
And then these can be donated?
And those can be donated.
Okay. I'll put that back down there. Do you have a barbecue section anywhere?
We do not,
Okay.
but
So
we should.
we'll figure that out. This pan looks pretty well loved.
Yes. What would you do with that?
Trash it.
Perfect.
Okay. And then this can go up with the bake
Yes.
stuff. And then where do you have your wax paper?
So I have this thing up
Okay.
there.
We want to add that up there?
Sure.
Okay. Isn't even open yet. I love these because it has the cutter.
Yes.
It's fabulous.
Okay. I think that this was a gift and I got put away.
Do you use this often?
No.
And let's put it back in the corner
hidden
down
in the
there.
corner.
Okay. Let's do that. There's some bakeware here.
Yes.
So above the stove, you have your bundt pan and cheesecake.
Yes.
Do you want any of that to go up there?
Sure.
Okay. I'm not a cursor, but this cabinet would make me curse.
Yes. It did for a very long time until we got that drawer in there, and then I kind of loved it a lot. I think we could donate one.
Okay.
Next is, here's where all my pots and pans are.
Mm-hmm.
These were a recent addition and gift from Alberto to Maya,
Okay.
so I need to keep them.
Are they going to go away to college with her?
They quite possibly may, but she uses them now.
Okay.
So I'm just not sure where to place them.
Okay. Let me look. Let me take a look-see over here. Did they slide in
Yes.
just up here? They can still grab?
Perfect. That's perfect.
Okay. And everything up here, do y'all still use?
No. The
Keurig?
curing machine only works like half the time, and I don't think we've pulled it down in over a year. So I'm inclined to trash it because I don't know if we're working it wrong or it just doesn't really work very well.
I also don't like that they have plastic.
Yes. And then there's an air fryer right in front of you,
Yep.
and it's broken,
Okay.
and I can't tell you the last time we pulled it down.
Okay. Open you down so they can see all of it. That took 2 big pieces out, so that's
Yes.
great. These can be moved over to our other drawer. So I think the red lid goes to this Pyrex
Yes.
that's in there.
Is it in here?
Yeah.
One?
I think the red, you need red lids to these too. Yeah. That one goes to this one. And so we need one more red one for this. Okay, so that just shifted that over.
Should we move the
Mixer up
mixer?
to the baking stuff?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
All right, so that's cast iron. I saw in your oven drawer you have the cornbread cast iron thing.
Yes.
Do you want to move it over here?
Yes.
Just like things with light?
Yeah.
It's
the base to the wonder is actually over here.
Put it in there with it. We've gotten a lot done.
We have.
Okay, the only thing we haven't done is these two drawers over here. Otherwise, this section is kind of
So I think that those drawers are really good.
They're good?
Yeah, I think that most of that is, so this is stuff that we don't use a lot. I feel like I'm ready to get rid of these.
Plastic?
Yeah.
See, and this is why you're saying, oh, it's good, and I'm saying, let's just take a quick look, right?
Yes, you're right.
We're already in it, and it's fast. You're making decisions like in a minute, right?
Yes.
It's really quick.
Do you donate or trash these?
I think we can donate them.
Okay.
So here's the corner of baked goods now, and they're so pretty. And we make more mess before it gets done, but this is already looking so much better. We still have to find a home for that. And then we've got to do some pantry items with this. She has a beautiful bowl here. We're going to figure out where we can make that more accessible, and more condiment stuff that will probably go up above. And we've got to find a place for barbecue. Okay, so we are working on this cabinet down here. I've just wiped it clean. And now she's going through all of the water bottles and thermoses, and we'll see what else goes back down there. So the thermoses are going down, right?
Yes.
And
So,
these are as well, right?
yes. I may need your help.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to kind of clean these out as well. I'm gonna be able to reach.
You want me to reach them?
Yeah. So that's another one of
Or the
those
Six
Six
Flags.
Flags cups.
I have coffee cups up there.
Yes, and that is something I would like to
I do.
resolve. Like what we use and what we don't use.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would like to thin out, you know, what we have and keep.
Mm-hmm.
So all of these can go in the trash.
Okay.
So donate that one.
Okay.
And you can donate this one.
Okay.
You can donate that one.
Okay.
And we can donate that one.
Okay. Awesome. I wonder if we could lay them on their sides on that top
That's a good
shelf.
idea. Except,
The straw's still too.
well, but I can take the straws out now
Yeah.
that I've reduced them.
Yeah.
But when she wants it, she can get it.
Yeah. 2024. Here
Yes, that can go away.
is all the spark stuff still good.
Actually, the spark is probably not in that green, other green.
Okay, so is there anything else? Well, your pretty bowl fit up here, or we took out these platter things too. Oh, might need to go back down there.
So do these two fit up there?
Wait, I think that's good. It still turns. Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to clean the top of your refrigerator
Okay.
now that I can see it. You want to just remind them what your goal is for this cabinet?
Sure. For this cabinet, I'm hoping to clean it out of what is expired and what we don't use, and get it set up for teenage boys and overflow drinks of Topo Chico and that sort of thing, so that the boys know where to come when they need a snack. I'm hoping to also find a place for the paper plates and napkins and that sort of thing. Also really just for the boys to use when there's a group of them. That I went through a phase of buying placemats, thinking that would be a good thing for us to use. And I have more on the dining table, but I don't really have a good place to store them.
Okay.
And these I probably would just donate because they don't clean very easily. The other ones I have clean a little bit easier. Like they're just made of something that I can just rinse if I need to. So these are donate.
Okay.
There's some stuff in there that I'm identifying as more pantry stuff.
Okay. Let's put it on the kitchen counter. If you'll pass them to me, I'll walk them over there. Pickles.
So that can go in the trash. And then this stuff I was putting over there so I can kind of organize.
Okay.
This can probably go in the trash, that bag in the trash, snack stuff. There's trash.
I'm gonna wipe down the shelves and then we'll show you what we put back. All right, so this is what we have so far. The paper plates we've relocated there. And then we have the savory. I'm gonna get my label maker and we will label that. All right, so these 2 bags are going to the ranch. We threw out about 6 bags, and this is now got all the labels, and it is good to go. I'm going to show you the afters of the other cabinets. All right, guys, so her homework tonight is going to be to put this stuff away in the pantry and tackle the pantry potentially. And we still don't have a location for these yet. We'll have to see. But the countertops now are clean in all of the locations. We've got a snack bin here. There's shakes. And it just looks so much better. Both kids came in and they are loving it. And I am very happy for her. This got cleaned off some. So I'm going to show you the after of the cabinets. So this one, y'all saw we relocated a couple of bowls up there and decluttered. She went through her bottles, and so all of that now is better. And we moved some coffee mugs over here from the other location, and you can see she's got some empty spaces. We moved some of her baking stuff up here, the pies, the loaf pans, the jalapeno bakers. And then here we have labeled everything. I still probably need to put like savory spices labels on here, but it looks so much better. She did a great job in downsizing. We've cleared off the microwave and put her platter up there. And then for her pantry here, she decluttered a couple of things out of there, some appliances, and moved some things around. And that looks good. Now let's look down below. She decluttered a lot of plastic here and cleared out a lot that was back in the corner. She went through all her drawers and did a quick look for trash and stuff. Now this is her bakeware and her cast iron. And then down below she's got glass storage and all that plastic stuff is gone. And also some more bakeware, and she's got room. And then down here, the drinks and stuff. Lots of space because she let go of stuff. And then these drawers, we didn't touch this one. I think this can move over to here. It's so pretty. But we moved her napkins up a drawer. And then this is for the kiddos, extra lids, and then lunch to goes. And then she worked in this corner, and so now all the mixing bowls are on this top shelf. So we did like things with like, and she cleaned all of that. There's a little shelving unit. She still has these that are sentimental to her, and moved a couple of things down that are matching, and it just looks great. We will end on a sweet note. All right, guys, that is it for today. We did her pantry for the kids' snacks. We've done just about every cabinet except for her dishes, like her china and stuff like that. She did a great job decluttering and talking through how she needed the kitchen to work better for her. She got rid of a lot of plastic stuff that's going to go to the ranch. She's got a table full of donations that she's going to pack up. And tell me, how do you feel about today?
I feel so relieved. Like, I can't stop smiling. It's so pretty and so nice, and it just feels easy to breathe.
Yeah. It's nice that your kids came in and
Yes,
said,
like
wow.
my kids, my husband, everyone's excited, and now we just have the rest of the house to do.
We've spent about 8 hours today doing it. Kitchens take a long time. We've talked about some other options, but we're going to come back tomorrow and we will work on the dining and living area.
I can't wait.
Get more done. She did excellent. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Will you make it easy?
Aw, she's a sweetheart. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to close like my dad always closes voicemail messages. Bye for now.